Right, so I think this would be a good time to show you how to make a oil lamp, because we've got threats of power cuts and all sorts of things. Poor Ukraine is going without power. The whole country seems to, the whole world seems to be having troubles with power and energy. And if you're in that situation where you haven't got candles, or candles isn't really an option because they can be quite expensive for a start, then this is an alternative. It's been being used since before biblical times, and widely used by the Romans. I want to make a pottery one, but my skills aren't quite good enough to do that yet. I need to somehow make them waterproof, because the oil just seeps through with the early versions I've tried. So need to suss that out a little bit. But yeah, we don't need pottery. We don't need to be like the Romans. We're going to do things just hobo style, which is kind of how I do most things. No money involved is ideal for me, and simple. There are two key things that I like, is simple and free or costing very little. So as I say, Ukraine is going through a power cut at the moment. I'm sure they know about these kind of things, and a lot of people do know, because it's just a good thing to know. Disclaimer before we start: be careful with this. Once it's lit, I won't touch it or move it. It'll stay where it is, and I'll be very careful with it. The amount of oil we'll be using is not really enough to get hot enough to catch light itself. The flash point on this sunflower oil is, I believe it's about 330, 400 degrees Celsius, which is really quite high. And we're not going to get anywhere near that with a little candle flame, and we're not going to be using enough oil to cause a problem if things did go really out of control. So this is as safe as I can get it, basically. You can make much larger versions, but that's, in my opinion, that's not needed. It's risky, and also, well, it depends. I mean, if you've got the proper lamp oil, you can do a much better job than this. This is using just common vegetable oil or any other oil. Olive oil was good. I can't remember if it's virgin or extra virgin olive oil, but one of them is more flammable than the other, I believe. But also sunflower oil, vegetable oil, cooking oil, lard, animal fat. When you cook your burgers up, you can use the oil from that. Because they're all generally a low flash point. It's nothing like alcohol based. So what I've got here is the bottom of the tin. I've stretched it out. I've just nipped a little bit at the front here for my wick to rest on. I've just cut a piece off here, my piece of denim strip, which I always carry around. And I've also trimmed off a bit of speaker cable, just for the wire. That's all I need. So we'll nip the wire off. Like that. And then we'll wrap this around our little piece of wick. I've only got a little bit of wick. Be careful how you say that, really. It's going to be something like this. All I'm trying to achieve here really is to keep some sort of form with this bit of denim, so that it doesn't go everywhere. It stays roughly to the wire, and you can quite easily just place that now and not worry about it too much going all over the place or whatever. The wire just holds it together. It might also cause a little bit of a choke point here, which isn't a problem so long as we've got oil in there going up this rag. So we're talking about 2 or 3 tablespoons in there. I done a test previously, and for just over a tablespoon I was getting 30 minutes worth of candle light, and it was a good light. So that could be an hour and a half. Also, but just make sure the whole wick is soaked. Pop it up on its little ledge and light it. I shan't go through the whole process with this. It's as easy as that, really. Be careful, don't be stupid. Make sure you put it somewhere safe, where it can be seen, not kicked. That sits in there nicely, and can even put it over here in my little new oven. And that should quite happily burn away for quite some time. You might need to pull the wick out a little bit, depending, I guess, on the wind mainly. But yeah, if you made a little wind trap around that, it would work much better. But I have tried this, and I've dipped my finger in there after using it for nearly an hour, and it was only lukewarm, the oil. So that there is no risk of this flash point. And as I say, if there is a flash point, be prepared, because it's oil. You need a damp cloth, which I have here, and that will smother out the fire. You don't want to chuck water on oil fires, although I think, you know, I'm being way over the top with this. This has been used for many, many centuries. I'm just trying to make it as safe as possible for you people, because I don't want you to get hurt. And that is always the possibility. But I also don't want you to sit in the dark if you've got an option to have light. Yeah. So I send my regards and thoughts, sympathies for the people of the Ukraine, but also a little something which might help. I can't do much else, so, and I'm sure you're all aware of this, but there might be someone who isn't, and this might lighten up their night, or their whole situation. Who knows? You can't really live without light. It's pretty difficult. So I guess we'll end it there for that. That's a simple little project, easily done. Costs nothing, it's just bits laying around. The vegetable oil actually is out of date. I'm not a big chip fan, and that only got used once or twice and left for a year. So really I'm just recycling this oil, but it's definitely a lot cheaper than candles. You get a 6-pack of candles, and they always used to cost £1, but now I'm sure they're quite a lot more. But a 6-pack of candles, and each hour candle would be an hour or so of light in a tent, I remember from my travelling days. And yeah, so that can run up costs, especially with the fact that we've got 16 hours of dark at the moment, which is kind of horrible. But yeah, that's that. There is one other thing I'd like to show, and that is a method of heating up my tent. And I shall just pause you there while I get the stuff ready for it.